Hey guys, welcome to another video, and this video is going to be the ranking of all the God of War games. I decided, since I just reviewed and beaten God of War Ragnarok, why not just rank all the God of War games, especially that, as I already said a couple of times, God of War is one of my favorite video game franchises ever. I love that series. Like, every single game is an amazing quality game. Yeah, maybe some are slightly better than others, but every single game in that series is a super fantastic game. So, let's rank all of them. Coming in number 8 at the last place is God of War Ascension. Yeah, even the worst God of War game is still a super fantastic game, but why is it at the bottom? Well, I have more positives than negatives to say about the game. But I guess, like, this is the most unnecessary entry in the franchise. I still love it, but if there is any entry I would consider skippable, is this one. Yeah, like, we already know a lot about Kratos' backstory from all the games, and this one is like 10 years before the first game, but we know so much already about it. Honestly, I don't think there was a huge need for this game. And plus, it also has the least number of boss battles, it's just mostly the Furies constantly returning for another battle. But other than that, it's still a solid game, and I personally don't recommend skipping any God of War game, but if you really want to skip any of the games, skip this one. As I said, I don't recommend skipping it because it's still an amazing game, but if you want to skip even one, well, why not this one? Coming in number 7, God of War Chains of Olympus. Yeah, like, this is another prequel, also before the first game, but I actually think it's much better than Ascension. Like, I love how it's during the time Kratos is in service of the gods, and we learn so much more. He also travels to Elysium to meet his daughter. It's literally one of the most emotional scenes in the entire franchise. I also love the final boss Persephone, who wants to destroy the whole Greek world. And even the beginning, it's also the first game that introduces actually a different mythology other than Greek, Persian. And honestly, from now on I don't consider any of those games skippable. Like, this game is very much an essential entry in the series, and it's a great game, just others are even better. And at number 6, it feels very weird to say it because it's still one of the greatest games ever and one of the greatest games in the PS2. But I'm shocked to say it's the very first original God of War. Yeah, the very first original God of War is amazing. Like, it introduced us to the franchise, it introduced Kratos, it had a great story about Kratos trying to avenge his family and kill Ares. So yeah, like, everything in this game is so great, so I don't even know why I put it so low, but again, that shows how much the next ones are even better. The game's also, even the beginning of the game is amazing, how you fight the Hydra, and then you explore the Pandora's Temple. Yeah, like, first God of War is amazing. At number 5, yeah, it's getting awkward because I'm basically listing them in very chronological order so far, but that's just my ranking, and it's God of War Ghost of Sparta. Yeah, I love that game. That's certainly the best game on the PSP. And honestly, this game is technically a spin-off, but I honestly think it's one of the most important entries in the franchise. I was debating if I put this one or the first one, because they're almost tied up, but I decided I was slightly leaning to Ghost of Sparta because I just love Kratos looking for his long-lost brother Deimos, and I love their chemistry and brotherly relationship. It's just so well done. But yeah, Kratos travels to save Deimos, who has a grudge against him, and then in the end they team up together to defeat Thanatos. And Deimos dies in the battle, which is a very tragic scene, actually. God of War Ghost of Sparta is an amazing entry in the franchise, and it definitely should not be skipped. It's just too important. And coming in number 4, again, it also feels awkward to say it, it's the best game on the PS3, God of War 3. Yeah, this game was a perfect conclusion to the Greek saga. It was finally Kratos getting his revenge on the gods and all, and the boss battles are amazing. Hercules, Zeus, Hades. Yeah, everything about this game is amazing, and the graphics are simply magnificent and fantastic. And so, yeah, this game also has a great story too. Yeah, it's an amazing game. Like, I have nothing negative to say about it. Again, it's just that I have even more positive to say about others. Number 3, and that's probably the best entry in the Greek mythology era, and that's God of War 2. Yeah, God of War 2 took everything that was great about the original very first game and improved on it so much and took it to the whole next level. This game definitely has the best story of the Greek mythology era of Kratos traveling to the Sisters of Fate to change his fate, and then meeting various Greek mythological figures on the way like Perseus, Icarus, Theseus, and defeating them all. And also it gave us one of my favorite boss battles, and probably the favorite from the Greek mythology era, in the form of Sisters of Fate. Yeah, their boss battle is just amazing. Plus, it was also a setup for God of War 3, and a very amazing one at that. God of War 3, as I already talked, is a fantastic payoff, but sometimes a setup might even be better than the payoff, and God of War 2 is a perfect example of that. And at number 2, God of War Ragnarok, the one I just reviewed only a few days ago. Yeah, this game is also fantastic. Like, though I admittedly talked a lot about it in my review already, so I guess there's not much more to say. So, other than it was an amazing payoff since what we got in the previous God of War game. The only issue I have with it is that it didn't quite isn't actually quite better than my number 1. But other than that, it's a perfect, amazing game and one of the best forms of entertainment of 2022. And my number 1 favorite God of War game it's still God of War 2018. Yeah, this game, it's just shocking. Like, I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology. I love Greek mythology, I grew up on that. And yet, this game takes place in Norse mythology, and I like Norse mythology, just not as much as Greek one. But this game that takes place in Norse mythology happens to be my favorite game in the whole franchise, and I thought it was better than all the previous games in Greek era combined. Which says a lot because of how super amazing they were. But this game has certainly the best story in the franchise, and also the relationship between Kratos and his son Atreus is just so touching and so amazing. It also has a lot of other likable characters, like it introduces us to lots of other likable characters like Mimir, Freya, and there aren't many boss battles, but the very few boss battles that are, like the Dragon Hraesler, Magni and Modi, Baldur, all those boss battles are literally some of the best boss battles in the franchise. But as I said, the reason I think I largely put it above Ragnarok is admittedly because I had much higher expectations for Ragnarok. I was really hoping Ragnarok would even be better than this. But, well, for this game, I admittedly, while I did expect it to be really good, I didn't expect it to exceed my expectations as much as it did. So I guess this is maybe the main reason this game is number 1 above Ragnarok, because this game just impressed me so much more. While Ragnarok, while a fantastic game, felt like just a continuation of everything this game has already done. So I guess this is the main reason this game is number 1. But Ragnarok is still a great game. But this is at the top spot. Okay guys, so here was my ranking of all the God of War games. What do you think of my ranking? Do you like God of War? What's your ranking of the God of War games? Comment below, let me know. Please subscribe to this channel, press the like button, and I will talk to you later in another video. Talk to you later, bye!